What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Axis of Combat podcast, episode 64. Abu Dhabi, Sandhagen, Nurmagomedov. We're going to cover this card from top to bottom. We're going to give you some picks, some bets, some predictions, and some whatever the fuck in between, to be honest with you. Like always, it's your boy Ray Boogie Kahuna, and my co-host.
Hugo the boss, Hugo got next. You already know. And before we get into any of this business, you already know the routine. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know.
First fight on this Abu Dhabi card we have, and we're kicking it off with heavyweights. We got Shamil Gaziev going one-on-one with Lord Kong, Dontel Mays. Gaziev 12-1 overall, fighting out of Bahrain. Fighting out of Bahrain, repping Bahrain, 34 years old. Dontel Mays, Lord Kong, 11-6, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 32 years old. Give me Shamil here. You know on this podcast by now, if you've been a listener. Don't tell on Dontel, never Dontel. We're done with Dontel Mays. This man is the ultimate fade. I don't care who he's fighting. He could be fighting my grandmother. I ain't betting on Dontel Mays.
Super necessary.
Give me Shamil here. Gaziev, listen, he didn't have the best outing against Jorginho his last time out. I mean, this is just a super big step up in competition for him. Jorginho was able to show him, hey man, there's levels to this shit. And I'm saying this striking, these hands talk. You know what I'm saying? Gaziev, outside of that, I mean, I think Gaziev, decent striker. Definitely he's got an edge up on most heavyweights because he's got some grappling. The cardio is always a bit suspect, but this is fucking Dontel Mays at the end of the day.
Horrible.
Pack this fucking boy up. This is gonna be Shamil. Probably
been packing them up.
I hope it's inside the distance, because if I gotta watch fucking 15 minutes of this shit, I mean, my God, I'm gonna take myself out for a walk.
Yeah.
But give me Gaziev here for the win. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. Gaziev actually had some decent success in the beginning against Jorginho Rosenstrike. There are levels to this shit. I think Shamil puts his punches together very well. Dontel has been showing some new nuances to his game as of late, but I just think that this is a different level, and I think Dontel's willingness to fight off his back foot is going to cost him in this fight. I don't think Shamil's going to be afraid to get hit by this guy because he was not afraid to get hit by Jorginho.
He's definitely going to be walking forward on him.
And Dontel's going to get tired.
Yeah.
As he usually does. I don't think very highly of Dontel Mays. So give me Shamil. I'm gonna take Shamil inside the distance because he can submit him too if it gets to it. So
next fight on the card at lightweight, we have Mohammad, the UAE warrior, Yahya, going one-on-one with, I think his first name is Kaue, Fernandes. Yahya, 12-4 overall, fighting out of the United Arab Emirates,
yep.
Oof. Dubai, 30 years old. Fernandes, 8-2 overall. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 29 years old. The last time we seen Yahya, he made his UFC debut against Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek was able to work that boy, for lack of, better phrasing. He was probably the most alarming thing to me about Yahya was that Trevor Peek was able to take him down. And you know Trevor Peek. When you think about Trevor Peek, you're thinking about fucking flying hammer fist and spinning hammer fist.
Unorthodox striking.
Unorthodox striking. Fernandes, his last fight was against DeCasey. DeCasey, sometimes that guy's hit and miss. He's not in the UFC anymore right now. I think he's a PFL Bellator fighter.
Yes.
Lost against DeCasey. DeCasey was able to take him down and literally just hug this man for 15 minutes, essentially. But when the fight was standing, Fernandes did show very versatile striking. I think he hits very hard. Crazy leg strikes, solid cardio. Give me Fernandes here. Yahya, I don't know, little gun shy, trains in Dubai. I don't know who is out there. There's no PI out there. So, I mean, I don't know who he's really training with. He looked okay, but not I don't know if he's UFC caliber. Fernandes, definitely the more explosive striker. Definitely the finishing upsides on this guy's side. Give me Fernandes, and I'm gonna balls it a bit. I'm gonna take Fernandes inside the distance here. Fernandes should win this fight, unless Yahya has made some crazy improvements that I don't know. This is Fernandes all day for me. What about you?
Yeah, I like Fernandes for all the reasons you listed. I'm just not convinced Yahya is UFC caliber. And I'm gonna leave it just like that. I don't want to spend too much time in this fight because I just don't think there's much to go about in this fight that you haven't already touched on. So I'm with you on Fernandes for the lean. Don't know I'm gonna play it. You're a little more ballsy than me with the ITD,
yeah.
but I'm not mad at it either because I understand. No, I understand why you're doing it, but give me Fernandes. That's where I'm at.
Next fight on the card at men's lightweight again, we have Joel Alvarez, El Fenomeno, going one-on-one with, he has no nickname, but she just called him the Brazilian zombie, Elvis Brener. Alvarez, 20-3, hailing from Spain, fighting out of Spain, 31 years old. Elvis Brener, 16-4, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 26 years old. Banger of a fight. Tough to call because Alvarez, super big for this division. Excellent striker, power in both hands. Opportunistic grappler, submission artist. He's good. He's a finisher. He's good. He's very good. The problem is that he's fighting Elvis Brener. Now, Elvis Brener is a hittable guy. Why is he a problem? The problem with Alvarez, the only problem I have with Alvarez,
takedown defense,
is that my grandmother can literally shoot a takedown on this man and he will go down.
Granny double leg. Granny double leg.
Definitely. Grandma single.
Hold my teeth, young man.
Hold my teeth. That's the only problem I have here with Alvarez, because Brener has shown, especially in his last fight, that, when the striking ain't working, he will go for the body lock. He'll shoot for the single.
And he's persistent.
And he'll go for it. He'll take you down. He fought, what's homeboy's name? Orabai.
Which is impressive.
And that fight was close. And Orabai was moving up in, I think, in weight that time.
Yeah.
It was kind of a last-minute thing for Orabai.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Elvis Brener was the original guy on that card. Brener, zombie chin, which is probably not the best thing for Alvarez. Brener, solid jiu-jitsu, which is probably not the best thing for Alvarez. Brener will lean on his chin to get inside and will take probably Alvarez down if he gets a body lock on Alvarez. What's probably working for Alvarez is it might not be the easiest to take down a 6'3" lightweight. And we haven't seen Alvarez in a while, so who knows how much he's improved. I'm going to pick Alvarez just because I think he might be just the better overall fighter. But Brener is probably super live here. I'm not sure what the odds are in this fight.
Yeah, they haven't been dropped yet. I can't find them.
I'm assuming Alvarez might be slight favorite and Brener might be slight dog. So this is probably dog or pass from a betting perspective. But I'm going to, as a pick, give me Alvarez to win here. And if you gun to the head, probably inside the distance, because Alvarez really don't go to decision, if I'm being completely honest. So what about you?
Yeah, I like Alvarez too here, but so all your points, not the most confidence. And the reason being is definitely the last fight with Orabai. That was impressive. Like what he was able to do in some of those rounds. I thought Orabai, I'm on the side where Orabai cleanly won the fight. I didn't think it was that close, but I understand why people did have it close. So I'm not going to, discredit that opinion at all. I think it's valid.
Brenner's been just, between this fight and then I think it was the
Giga fight.
The Giga fight.
Yeah, he's just been surprising dude.
He just surprises guys every time he's out there.
He fights up.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary about someone like him, especially if he's like a big dog. I'm playing the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then Joel Alvarez, not the best gas because he's a big dude, but
cuts a lot of weight.
But I would be surprised with the body work if Elvis could go to it. And the problem with Joel plays off his back too much. That's where I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared to play Joel Alvarez comfortably in this fight. I really am. But with that said, I lean Joel Alvarez.
Next fight on the card at men's middleweight, we have a rescheduled repeat. We broke this fight down once before. We'll break it down one more time. Sedriques Dumas, the Reaper, going one-on-one with Denis Tiuliulin. He should be the Russian zombie. Dumas, 9-2 overall, fighting out of Pensacola, Florida, 28 years old. Denis Tiuliulin, 11-9, fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 36 years old. Dumas, like I've mentioned before, I really haven't changed my stance on this fight. He probably should win this fight. I know he's probably the more green fighter. the more inexperienced fighter for sure. Has a stand-up background, has been improving his ground game. Denis, you know what he's all about. Walk forward, punch you in the face until either you die or he dies.
Yes.
Can be taken down, though. Dog shit takedown defense. Give me Dumas here. I think he wins. Haven't changed that stance. I do think submission is very live here.
Correct.
Because Dumas has got them long limbs.
And he's getting better.
And he is getting better.
That's why I give him a lot of credit. Yeah, I think he's going to be able to take him down, too. I do.
But fight doesn't go. I just, that's just the way Tiuliulin fights just go. If you want to play on the safer side, the under is probably hit here. But give me Dumas here. I'm going to pick Dumas. And I'm going to lean submission. So, what about you?
I'm on Dumas, but via decision. But if a submission happened, depending on how juicy the line is, I'm not going to stray away from it. All the reasons you listed, I think he's gotten better. I think he's improving. I think he is a guy that has striking capabilities too. I think he's a better all-around fighter. Give me Dumas. I'm going to say by decision. But if submission is juicy, because he hasn't really subbed anyone in the UFC.
He hasn't.
That's why that's going to be a nice play.
This could be the first. Yeah.
Could be the first. So this is a very high probability of hitting, in my opinion, and your opinion as well.
Next fight on the card at men's lightweight, we have the Black Country banger, Jai Herbert, going one-on-one with the machine, Rolando Bedoya. Herbert, 12-5-1, fighting out of England, hailing from England, 36 years old. Bedoya, 14-3, fighting out of Peru, repping Peru, 27 years old. Banger of a fight, I think, in my opinion. I mean, Jai Herbert fights usually aren't bangers. It's usually because of Bedoya. Bedoya, I mean, appropriately nicknamed the machine. This motherfucker just walks forward and will throw. Debuted against, don't remember his name.
Chaos.
Chaos Williams, where Chaos usually gets motherfuckers out, but you want
the real Chaos lost that fight.
Took a licking, kept on ticking.
We bet Chaos and we thought he lost the fight.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
Bedoya is a tough son of a bitch, man.
Yeah. Jai also fades late in fights.
Jai, listen, all to Herbert. He's boring, but he's technical. He's probably the better overall fighter here in terms of technicality. Like, if he fights the distance fight, he can outstrike you. He knows how to use that range. He will mix in some takedowns. He probably is the favorite, probably should be the favorite. This is probably dog or pass to me here. I'm just never been a fan of the Herbert. I think his chin is a little sus, and I think Bedoya is going to bring pressure. I don't think Jai Herbert deals well with pressure.
No.
I think Bedoya is probably going to win this fight by KO, but I think Bedoya is here for an upset, And then at top, Herbert's also a little bit on the older side here. Give me Bedoya here for the upset. I know the odds are kind of stacked against him here, and especially if he starts mixing in that grappling, I don't know, but I think Bedoya probably gets this done here. Just gut feeling. Yeah,
I'm with you on Bedoya late. Jai actually he does have a reputation for getting into wars. I just think Topuria just took it from him.
Well, Topuria just came at him. Though,
yeah, and he almost killed Topuria, and then Topuria came back and killed him. So that was a great fight. But I think after that fight, he's kind of just been a lot more conservative and reserved with how he moves. He did against Klein. He's done in his other contest with that as well. I can't remember the gentleman he fought. But I do like Bedoya here because Jai does not deal with pressure well, and Jai does fade. I like Bedoya late here. I really do. I think violence props are going to hit on this fight.
Next fight on the card at women's strawweight, we have Victoria Dudakova going one-on-one with Sam Hughes. Dudakova, perfect, 8-0, fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 25 years old. Sam Hughes, 8-6, fighting out of Everett, Washington, 32 years old. First and foremost, hopefully this fight does happen. I mean, Dudakova has been pulling out lately, and then her last fight, which I think was her debut fight, Jin Yufrey, wasn't really that impressed. I know after the fact she said that she was like dealing with a whole bunch of health issues, and
I thought Jin won that fight.
Nah,
if I remember correctly.
I think it was close. I think I did lean Dudakova, but if you said Jin won that fight, I wouldn't hate it.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. That's all I'm saying.
But I did have Dudakova winning that fight. I give it to her. Dudakova on the regionals, good hands, can mix in the grappling. She can be taken down though. But when she's on top, decent ground and pound. The stand up is where she really shines. Sam Page. I'm high on this girl. Well, I'm higher than most on this girl because she's a tough son of a bitch.
Yes.
Leans on the chin. She'll throw. She's been improving slowly. I think her bread and butter is the grappling, is the wrestling. I think if she can get to Dudakova here and wrestle her and have a solid game plan, she probably could win this fight. I just think Dudakova, the footwork might be an issue. The range might be an issue. I think Dudakova is literally, I mean, they got them listed here at the same size, actually. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe this is one of these fights where I wait until weigh-ins.
Agreed.
Kind of like see how they match up physically and, you know, maybe their mindset. If I know Sam is going to go in with a wrestling mindset from jump,
I lean on her.
She might be the play here, but I'm going to pick Dudakova. I think Dudakova is going to have more volume. She's probably going to hurt Sam. She won't finish Sam, so I'm going to lean decision. Give me Dudakova for the win here.
Agreed 100%. I ain't got much else to add from that. That's exactly how I feel about the fight, so we could go on to the next one.
Next fight on the card at light heavyweight, we have Atomic Alonzo Menifield going one-on-one with the professional Azamat Murzakanov. Menifield, he is 15-4-1, fighting out of Texas, 36 years old. Murzakanov, perfect. The professional is 13-0, fighting out of New Jersey, repping Russia, 35 years old. Almost forgot Murzakanov was on the fucking roster for a minute. I mean, lightweight has been struggling a bit.
And he's inactive, man.
And this guy, listen, Murzakanov, I was like, who is this man? Decided to type him in, you know, do some tape. And I was like, oh shit, he's this guy. Mm-hmm. Murzakanov, kind of a beast.
Kind of a beast.
Solid hands, good footwork, faster hands than I gave him credit for as well. Can mix in the grappling if things get a little hairy, but he prefers the striking. Going one-on-one with Menifield, who has been making improvements of his own, if I'm being completely honest. I think Murzakanov is the side here, especially early, even though Murzakanov could get the knockout anywhere. First round, second round, third round, whenever he wants it. He could probably get it. But Menifield, if he mixes in the grappling, if he mixes in the wrestling, I think he is super live to win this fight. I'm assuming Menifield's going to be the dog here. I'm assuming Murzakanov, being perfect, is going to be the favorite here.
No lines have dropped, ladies and gentlemen, just as a FYI. So
if Menifield, again, mixes in that wrestling, mixes in that grappling, he's got the power too. They don't call him a fucking Atomic for no reason. Atomic can be live here. It's dog or pass. Murzakanov is the pick. Alonzo might be the bet, depending on how that line looks. I like inside the distance. I like fight doesn't go. Somebody's going to get murked. And both guys will probably gas as the fight goes on. But that power, again, is always the last thing to go. So Murzakanov the pick. Menifield might be the bet depending on how that line drops. So
yeah, I'm with you on Alonzo being a live dog, possibly. Not one that I feel extremely comfortable playing, but one that I understandably would play and would understand other people for playing, because I just don't like his opponent's inactivity. It's a little alarming. And Alonzo has been active. Alonzo has been improving. Alonzo is going to be the stronger man in there. Plus, Dustin Jacoby took him down. And that's alarming. But it also goes to show you how good his striking is, that Dustin Jacoby's making the decision to wrestle him late in the fight.
Dustin Jacoby, by the way.
Who's a striker, like K1 kickboxer. So, you know, I love Murzakanov here. Alonzo might be a play, but I love Murzakanov probably first, second round knockout. I think he might hit him to the body, hit him across the chin. The speed's going to give Alonzo a little bit of trouble, in my opinion.
Yep.
I think he's going to get him out of there. But if the line's crazy, Alonzo might be a live dog play here for sure.
Next fight at welterweight, we have the legend himself, El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson, going one-on-one with a guy I really don't consider a legend, Michael the Maverick Chiesa. Michael the weight bully Chiesa.
Another opportunity for him to weight bully.
Another opportunity. El Cucuy, 25-10, fighting out of Ventura, California, 40 years old. Michael Chiesa, 16-7, fighting out of Spokane Valley, Washington, 36 years old. Oh man, I
hate this fight.
First of all, I hate that Tony's still fighting. Second of all, I hate that Tony's fighting this fucking guy out of all people. Tony moving up might do him some good. might help the chin out maybe just a bit. He ain't got to worry about Chiesa throwing bombs. I mean,
You're not wrong.
I like fight ends in sub.
Yes.
Whoever I like fight ends in Darce. If I could fucking play Darce submission, that'd probably be the way to play it. But give me fucking Chiesa to win here. It's hard to pick Tony. Tony just hasn't looked good at all. He is 40. He probably should hang it up.
He shouldn't be fighting anymore.
This is a winnable fight. This is Chiesa here we're talking about. Chiesa, no hands, Chiesa, commentator, Chiesa.
Yeah.
Chiesa, this is his second life, Chiesa. Fuck, man. Fight ends in sub. Chiesa is the side. I'm rooting for El Kukui here. I'm probably going to play. If fight ends in sub is decent, that's probably the way I'm going to play it. But yeah, give me fucking Chiesa here. It's gonna suck seeing Tony lose again to this guy.
Yeah, it's a tough fight for him because I think Chiesa's a good game planner. Chiesa's also good at getting to the back.
Chiesa's also good at weight bullying.
Yeah, and weight bullying. This is gonna be a fight where he's gonna be the bigger guy. Tony's not. He's just not the same anymore, man. It's hard for me to say that because he's one of my favorite fighters ever.
I want Chiesa to sleep. I hope Tony slides him up. That'd be sick.
It's just a tough fight for Tony, in my opinion. But Chiesa does have the tendency to walk into Darce chokes, so that's why I think the fight ends in sub is live here. This is the fight for it. I don't think he's knocking Tony out because I don't think he's a big puncher, and he's not a guy that likes to actively punch. I think that he beat Sean Brady, right, Chiesa, or did he lose to Sean Brady?
I think he lost to Sean Brady, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, it's crazy. What's annoying?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
unanimous decision.
I thought he won that fight low key, but matter of fact, let me take that back. I got to rewatch that fight.
But I think you just want to take some random Sean Brady shots. That guy, he catches strays right now.
He's so limited, bro. Both these guys are limited. But Tony Ferguson, in my opinion, I think is top 2 greatest lightweight of all time. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, he never won the belt," but I don't really care about that. Look at his body list. Look at the people he's ran through. Now he's getting run through, unfortunately. Time has passed him. This is hard to watch at this point. But Chiesa, I would say ITD is the play. Don't know how. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be by sub, but if he knocked him out, would you be surprised at this point in time? You know, it's hard. It's hard to watch this, but give me Chiesa.
Next fight on the card at women's strawweight, we have Mackenzie Dern going to one-on-one with Lupi Godinez. Dern, 13-5, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, 31 years old. Godinez, fighting out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, 12-4 overall, 30 years old. I thought Godinez trained in Canada. Am I bugging?
No.
Am I thinking about I'm thinking about the other girl. What's her name?
Yeah, neither here nor there.
Anyway, and I guess Dern just doesn't train in Brazil anymore, right? Whatever. I'm gonna lean Dern here because I just can't trust Godinez to win this fight. Godinez is the better striker. And as long as this fight is standing, she's probably gonna light her up. But
she's also the better wrestler.
She is the better wrestler. The problem with Godinez is the problem she's had with anybody who knows some jiu-jitsu and can grapple a bit.
And can cage push.
They can cage push her. They can hold her against the cage. I mean, Janjiroba, her last fight, literally was just like George Michaeling the shit out of her against the cage.
It was close, in my opinion, that fight. I thought it was a little bit of the unanimous decision rubbed me a little wrong, but I understand why Werner won the fight.
Yeah. I picked Werner. Werner did win that fight, and it's literally because Godinez, when she gets preoccupied with the grappling, not that she settles, but she kind of settles.
Yeah.
For people just like on her back while she's just fighting hands and like doesn't really do anything offensively that whole time, while the person on her back or on her body is just like, you know, getting off like little pitty patter shots here and, you know, getting a little offensive, and that's how she loses these fights against these grapplers.
And Mackenzie's like the queen of pressure, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though she might get hit, she gets hit a lot. But
and she's probably gonna hit the ground here. You know, Mackenzie's probably gonna bleed because she's always bleeding out her nose.
Correct.
Her eye is probably gonna get swollen shut because she don't take damage well.
No.
But Dern, you got to give Dern one thing. She's got a fucking set on her, boy. She's a tough fighter. She'll come forward. She don't give up. She gets stronger as the fight goes on, in my opinion, in terms of like her attitude. Just give me Dern here to win probably a decision. I don't know if she subs Lupi. She probably could. But
she probably could.
I don't think she does. not that I don't think she does, but I'm going to lean decision here. Give me Dern to win a fight that Lupi should win.
Yes. No, 100%. For all the reasons you listed, I thought the Lupi Jandiroba fight was close because she landed the better damage in the fight. She did land damage on Verna multiple times in the fight. Verna was just literally holding her against the fence. With that said, I'm just not. This fight scares the shit out of me. From a betting standpoint,
Gudina should be able to jab her face off.
She should be able to jab her face off and take her down at will and just get up or just defend her takedowns at will. I just at this point, Lupita is just when you have people that are frustrating bets, she's one of them.
She's frustrating to bet on.
And when you have a frustrating bet or you have someone that's frustrating your life, especially after the age of 30, you get rid of that person from your life. And I'm going to get rid of her from my fucking bet slip.
Life advice.
Life advice.
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
I ain't fucking with this girl, man. Like, and she's so fucking talented, so it hurts me to say that. I do like her too, but can't trust her, man. Can't trust her as far as you can throw her. And if I could throw her right now, I'd pretend she is an 800-pound gorilla that I could not throw very far. Like, I could probably throw her from here to across the street, but no. I'm going to pretend it's an 800-pound gorilla because I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I ain't there, man. Give me Mackenzie Dern, probably by decision.
Next fight on the card at men's bantamweight, we have Marlon Chito Vera going against Jesus de da Grea. Well, it's God of War, but in Brazilian, right? I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Davison Figueiredo. Vera, 23-9-1, fighting out of Ecuador, 31 years old. Figueiredo. I can't pronounce that name. Figueiredo. Jesus. 23-3-1, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 36 years old. Good fight, but a fight that I think Figueiredo is probably going to win. Nothing against Chito. I love fucking Chito. I love him as a personality. I love him as a fighter. Just came off a crazy ass whooping from Sean O'Malley. Took a lot of fucking damage in that fight. I mean, dude's got a chin. Iron chin. Leans on it heavy.
Yeah, but Davison,
I trust his IQ.
Very smart fighter.
I trust his output.
Yep.
I trust him to make the right decisions. Ever since he's moved up to 35, he's looked fucking spectacular. The weight class has not been a problem for him so far.
He's gonna be outsized, but he's still a gorilla. It's weird.
Yeah.
You know, like he moved the way he moved. I know it's Cody Garbrandt, like in this, like a shadow of him at this point, but it doesn't matter. He moved him around easy, took him down, and he got in the first round. He's like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna go right back to that in the second round. Got his fucking back and choked him.
Yes,
choked him out. Yeah, I'm with you. I know where you're going with this fight already because you told me beforehand, and based on how you're talking, you're talking real sexy about Davison Figueiredo.
I'm talking super sexy about Davison Figueiredo.
And by the way, we're two of the biggest Marlon nut riders that you probably meet. I love Marlon Vera. I think he's one of the most unmarketed guys in the UFC. I think he can be a superstar, even with or without the belt. If I'm being honest with you, his personality is fucking amazing, and his fight style is fucking amazing. I just think this is a little too much too soon, especially after that beating. And I think he's going to be flat-footed where Figgy's going to be in and out, able to pick his shots, able to land damage, as well as able to take him down, probably at will.
And the issue with Cheeto is always the issue with Cheeto. Just fucking extremely low volume. Extremely low volume.
He's going to lose the first round.
He takes so much time to get going. Listen, the two things that probably could offer Figueiredo some issues here. The power and the leg kicks.
Yes.
Cheeto can put fucking damage on anybody. Problem is that, he doesn't throw too often. So it's like, he's just hard to back from a betting perspective. He is,
Correct.
So I'm on Figueiredo here. It's a 3-round fight, which also I think favors Figueiredo.
Yeah, if it was 5, you could give Marlon a little bit more leeway, a little more
respect for sure. Yeah,
but I'm with you, Figgy's definitely the play here. Probably by decision. I'll go that far, by decision.
Next fight up at middleweight and is currently constituted the co-main event of the evening for UFC Abu Dhabi. We have not Nick Diaz, not Vicente Luque, but a literally brand new, just announced fight. We have Shara Magomedov, Bullet, going one-on-one with Husar Mikhail Olenjashik. Magomed 13-0. Perfect. Fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 30 years old. Hussar Lord Mikhail Olenjacek, 19-8. Fighting out of Poland, hailing from Poland, 29 years old. Like I said, just announced fight. This was supposed to be Nick. This was supposed to be Vicente. Personally, thank God. I was not looking forward to watching Nick Diaz fight. I'm not going to lie to you. That would have been a Vicente bet probably all day, depending on that line. We currently have, I don't know how I feel about this as a main event, or as a co-main event. Bullet versus a guy who I thought they cut him after his last loss. Lord Michael, I'll start with him. Last fight was against Kevin Holland, where he got armbarred in the first round. Didn't break his arm, but looked like some damage was done to his arm. Listen, let me big him up a bit. Good boxer, decent head movement, decent power. That's about it. And then we got Magomedov on the other side. Shara, the one-eyed bullet. I don't know that. I was going somewhere with that. I completely messed that up. Anyway, good kickboxer, fast. He's probably the faster of the two guys. I think his strikes are a little more dynamic. Hits hard. That's about it. This is going to be a stand-up fight. Ain't no grappling going to go on here. If there's any grappling, probably from the Michael side, from the Olenjacek side.
I agree.
But this is a fight where fight doesn't go is probably the way to bet it. Fight doesn't start round 3. If you want to get real greasy, fight doesn't start round 2. Now, the only kind of issue I see here a bit is that Lord Michael here hasn't been knocked out in the UFC. All his losses have been by submission. Shara is definitely not going for any kind of submissions. Shara's last 2 fights in the UFC, his only 2 fights in the UFC, have both reached the 3rd round. I'm going to pick Magomedov here. I don't know. I just see a head kick here. I see somebody going to sleep. Just give me Magomedov here. I don't know how I feel about this as a co-main event.
Yeah, and we apologize for the awkwardness on this and like the hesitancy on a lot of things that we're gonna say because this fight was kind of just announced. In all realness, I'm on your side here with Magomedov. I do believe that there are some UFC narratives getting pushed around. They're really trying to push this guy to the moon, even though I think he is a very limited fighter. I am curious to see what Olenjacek's submission prop is. I really am, because he does have grappling capability.
Yeah, but he doesn't really go to it.
No, but
he does have a rear naked choke win.
Yeah,
in 2014, but
yeah, and that's the only. And he's fighting for his job here. He might turn into Khabib Nurmagomedov, so he might shoot on him. So I am curious about that submission prop. It might be like a plus 1600. I'll play it. I'll play the shit out of it. With that said, we can't really depend on this guy to go to the wrestling. He only has one recorded fight where he did go to his wrestling in the UFC and didn't really have that much success with it. Was kind of okay with it. This fight's probably going to take place on the feet for the most part. And I just think Shara has the better weapons. He's faster. He hits harder. And I know Olenjacek has not been knocked down the UFC or at the UFC level, but I fear this might be the first one.
He has been wobbled. I mean, Chidi rocked him with a head kick.
Yeah. And Shara can land that kick.
Yes.
Shara and Mikhail's also super weak to the body.
Yes.
And Shara's good at going to the body.
And that got exposed by
Pereira. And a whole bunch of people hurt him to the body, too.
Yeah,
before that. Pereira was just the most recent.
The most recent one, though.
But with that said, I got to lean Shara here. And I'm not high on him, to be honest. I think he's a very limited fighter. I think the fade is coming very soon. I just don't think it's in this contest. That's the truth. I think there's a Saudi Arabia narrative here with this gentleman. He's already kind of a big deal over there because he has a certain look.
Yeah.
I think he already got movie roles and shit too, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, I think he's already done a movie in America, I think.
In America, look at that.
So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why the appeal to squeeze him in as a co-main in Abu Dhabi kind of makes sense for him, but
yeah, I just think this is a very favorable fight for him. Like this fight favors him in a lot of ways. So he's going against a guy who can wrestle him, but probably won't. And if I'm Olenjacek, I just get him to the floor and sub him because I think if he gets Shara to the floor once, this fight's over.
Oh yeah,
it's over. Like Like, you got to trust Sherrod to kind of defend himself, but I just don't. I think his grappling's trash, man.
I wouldn't say his grappling's trash. He holds on to cages pretty decently.
Oh, I think that's the first time I've hit Kawhi Leonard like 3 times for a laugh on a segment. That is fucking hilarious,
dude. That fence grab against Tricoli was bananas.
And by the way, Tricoli on three days' notice, I think it was. He flew all the way from Brazil, depleted his body to make the weight because he's humongous for the weight class.
Because he already had previously cut weight because he was supposed to fight, I think, Aliskerov.
Yes, the week before.
Yeah.
That fight got moved. Man. And that's the thing. So he cut weight twice within 7 days. And he barely got out of that fight alive. He finished him in the third, but he almost got taken down in the second. If he got taken down in the second, he probably could have finished him in the second. He probably got choked out. Yeah. Let's just keep it 100. So, but with that said, I got to go Shara here. I don't know what the line is because it just dropped. We'll figure it out as the week goes. Follow us on all social media platforms. But I do like, I will look at Macau's submission prop with some keen eyes.
I'm sure it's gonna be a fat number. It's probably gonna be nice and definitely a. I mean, hey, it's a long shot of long shots, but fuck it, right?
Yeah, considering he's probably fighting for his job in this fight. I will say that. I think if he loses, he's going home. So give me Shara. That's the lean. We'll see how the lines play out before we bet it.
UFC Abu Dhabi main event at bantamweight, and this is probably a title eliminator, probably 100%. We got the Sandman, Cory Sandhagen, going 1-on-1 with cousin Umar. He doesn't have a nickname. Nurmagomedov. Sandhagen, 17-4, fighting out of Aurora, Colorado, 32 years old. Umar, perfect, 17-0, fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 28 years old. Good fight. Banger of a fight. Close fight. A fight that probably should be a pick'em, but it's probably not. It's probably Umar, slight favorite, maybe.
2-1.
Wow. I think Sandhagen's a bit live here.
People gonna bleed.
Wrong one, guys. Wrong one.
Nah, bang them all.
You're well, baby.
Listen, Sandhagen's going to have the height and reach. Sandhagen's got, offensively, he's got so many tools in the striking. I don't think he's a slouch in the grappling off his back. I think he's pretty solid. If he's on top, he's pretty good. I mean, Umar, what's to say about Umar? I mean, this guy, the cousin of Khabib, he is fucking lights out. He's solid. I just think this is going to be a close fight. I think Sandhagen might be getting a little disrespected here. I'm going to pick Umar because it's hard to pick against a guy who hasn't lost. But Sandhagen is a man on a mission. I know he's a little older, but he's not that much older. And like IQ wise, he's going to come in with a plan. He's going to make adjustments as long as he doesn't get caught, because he can get caught by Umar. Umar's got underrated power. I think Sandhagen's a bit live. I think he is. I'm going to lean Umar for the win. I don't know if this fight goes the distance or not. That one I probably have to give a little more thought into in terms of, does it go? Does it not go? Maybe it doesn't. Give me Umar for the win. Give me Sandhagen probably as a live dog. It's probably going to, if the line keeps getting disrespectful, it might be a play. This should be a 50-50 fight. This should be a pick'em fight, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I think the line is a little disrespectful for a lot of the reasons you mentioned, a lot of obvious things. Umar, big step up in competition for him too. This is what I think the first top 5 guy he's going to get. But granted, it's the first top 5 guy that's agreed to sign the dotted line and actually fight him.
Yeah, people have been talking
Umar is who you think he is. I think he is really good, to be frank. I think Cory Sandhagen at this line is a little disrespected. So I think a live dog play here is going to be interesting. Umar, I don't remember the last time he's gone 5 rounds. I don't think he's gone 5 rounds in the UFC. This is the first top 5 opponent. Cory's going to be bigger. Cory's wrestling is really good. A lot of those trips and stuff that he's going to use, that Umar used against other opponents, I'm not sure he's necessarily going to be able to hit him against Cory. And Cory's going to be the better striker. Knows how to manage distance, knows how to make decisions, knows how to reset the space, knows how to attack, knows when to confuse you. with different looks, knows how to switch stances. He does a lot of things good. And I know people want to shit on him for his last fight against Ralph Font, but that was a last-minute replacement fight, and he did have an actual injury getting into that fight. The fact that he even stood on that card just shows the balls and the level of confidence that he has in himself. I think Umar is the goods, but I think at this line for a guy that's against a guy who's never been 5 rounds and a guy who, this is definitely by far the best fighter he's fought, I got to lean the dog here in Cory Sandhagen, man.
I am afraid for 2 things on the Sandhagen side. One, he might play off his back a little too much against a guy he probably shouldn't be playing off his back with.
Correct.
And 2, again, he probably could get chinned here, but I think if Sandhagen's game plan is literally play the distance game and
makes it the attacks,
I think he can strike. I think he can outstrike him, and I think he could beat him that way.
I agree. I think Umar has some good shit on the feet, but not nearly on the level of Cory.
Yeah.
Cory's a better all-around fighter.
Yes.
He is. And I think that's why you got to play him here. And he's fought the way better brand of competition. It's not even close. Give me Cory. I'm going to go by decision. I'll go by decision because I think the wrestling threat's going to be too hard for him to overextend and try to go after him because he's going to be afraid to get taken down. Unless he just dog walks him and walks through him. I don't know, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if something like that happens. I'm not surprised, but I'd be like, oh, wow, okay.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, we slept 100%. On him a bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cory, the dog, that's where we're at.
And that does it for UFC Abu Dhabi from top to bottom. We broke down this mother sucker, gave you some picks, predictions, and some leans and some bets. But we still got some sweet signs to get to. Got some boxing, and we got some decent boxing this weekend. So, again, without further ado, take it to my other half here for the boxing breakdown.
Yeah, well, this is a big card. It's what is it? Turkey's first domestic U.S. card for us.
Yes.
Well, domestic for us, foreign to him. So it's more of like his first foreign card.
It's pretty much like Riyadh, L.A.
Yeah. This card is amazing. But we'll just get right into it. Jared Anderson versus Martin Barcoli. This fight I feel like could be interesting. I don't think Barcoli's a pushover, and Jared Anderson has had a lot of issues outside of the ring that just beg to question where he's at mentally. Can I count on him for the knockout? No. Maybe for a decision if otherwise, but I cannot comfortably say that he's going to run over this guy just because he's all over the place, and I'm not sure he's fully committed to this sport, to be frank.
Yeah, he needs to get his shit together.
Yeah, he's literally the Andrew Bynum of professional boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bars. That's
just what it is. Like, he's starting to go down that path, but he's got all the talent in the world. If he's locked in, he should be able to, I think, win this fight handily. How? I want to get his body language, and I want to see where he's at and what he's doing for training before I give you an answer to that. But I like Jared Anderson in this fight, just on pure talent, but we'll see how I feel further in the week.
Yeah, I'll be leaning him as well, but, not with that much confidence. I'm being completely honest with you.
We got Andy Cruz fighting Antonio Moran. I have to do a little more homework on Antonio Moran, but Andy Cruz did not have a good last showing against his opponent. I did not play that fight just because I was not sure how that fight was going to look. Mm-hmm. And I should have just played the dog because I read it like a book, and I just did not play it like a book. So
you played it like a quarter.
He has a lot of
yourself.
Yeah, he has a lot of questions to answer. Is he going to come in with another bum knee? Has he fully recovered from that bum knee? Because that fight wasn't too far away. It was a couple of months ago. So honestly, I'm not sure where to lean on this fight. But now let's get into some fights where I do think I know what's going to happen for sure. David Morrell, arguably the second best middleweight behind David Benavidez on the planet right now. I think David Morrell's going to walk through this guy, probably knock him the fuck out within 6. But Morrell's a beast, very good puncher.
Yeah, I don't know shit about his opponent.
Yeah,
but, I do know Morrell, and Morrell is
the goods.
He is what he is. You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't gone far into fights, and that's the only thing I may have some hesitancy about, like with playing him. But I mean, dude, he's the goods. He knows how to find your chin. He goes to the body pretty well. He's a very good prospect. Watch out for him. Andy Ruiz Jr. and Jarrell Miller. I think Andy Ruiz is going to get it done inside the distance. Andy Ruiz, good chin, the much faster hands, arguably the fastest hands at the heavyweight division. Jarrell Miller coming off in my opinion, a disappointing performance against Dubois. If he comes in shape and looking like he went out the pharmacy, maybe Jarrell might get a play here. But unless he's taking steroids, he hasn't proven it to anybody.
Yeah. And hopefully Ruiz has been, on his shit. I know he's been This is his first fight in a while, and it's because he's kind of been fucking outpricing himself, low key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he thinks he's the A side. You know, you're not really the A side, dog. You got one win over homeboy Anthony Joshua.
Who avenged it, by the way.
He's been fucking riding that shit high, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's like, oh, he knocked me out. That's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking about his night. He decisioned me. But not.
I'm with you. He should get it done here against Miller, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It depends on what kind of shape he's been in as well.
Yeah. Isaac Cruz versus Jose Valenzuela. Probably the best fight on the card.
Yes. Banger.
Don't know. God, I'm so split on this one. And the reason being is because I think Jose Valenzuela, he's not getting the proper respect that he deserves as a boxer and as a puncher. I feel like I'm going to lean him here for whatever reason.
It's almost like he's a little under the radar, at least for the casuals. He's a bit under the radar. If you haven't seen this guy fight, do yourself a favor for sure.
Yeah,
check him out.
He's very good. And he had his recent upset where he got robbed, and then he also avenged that loss and knocked him out very early in the fight. He was talking so much shit, and it was but he clearly. What's his name? I got you right now, just in case. Chris Colbert.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Colbert. Oh, yeah. It was a close fight, but he clearly lost 8 rounds, and then he got slept.
He smoked Colbert.
He got smashed in the second fight.
Fucking hilarious.
I think Isaac Cruz has a hard time cutting off the ring. I think that's one of the issues he does have. He should win this fight just being in LA, pressure and volume alone.
He's the guy I'm leaning, for sure.
I'll lean Isaac, but I'm sure Valenzuela is going to be the dog. If that line is disrespectful at all when it drops, I would definitely be probably making a dog play because I think Valenzuela is a fucking dog, like a little dog, and I think he is an underrated boxer.
He's an actual dog.
Yeah.
He's a Doberman.
He's a beast, man. I think we need to put some fucking respect on this guy's name. Give me Isaac Cruz. I'm gonna lean probably by decision here.
I'm with you there. Yeah, I think probably the over's hit here.
But he does go after the knockout.
Might be the safer bet.
He if I could trust him to competently cut off the ring, sure. But he doesn't. And I think Valenzuela comes in with solid game plans and knows how to execute them. So give me Isaac Cruz by decision. And with that said, heading on to our main event with Terence Crawford going against Madrimov, and let me put some respect on his name. Israil Madrimov.
I think it's Israel. Israel.
I don't know. It's IL as opposed to EL, but we'll take it.
Madrimov. It's called Madrimov.
Yeah, it's Madrimov. So
not Majin Buu.
Madrimov is a very good up and coming prospect. He only, I think, has like a little less than 14 fights, or I think 15 fights under him. I feel like he's not ready for this. Even though Terence is moving into his weight class, they're both the same height, and Terence has a 6-inch reach advantage, which a little scary. I'm not sure if Terence is going to get the knockout in this fight because he's moving up from 48 to 54.
Got to see if that power translates, yep.
6 pounds is a big difference. Do I think it will? Sure. Do I think it will to the point where he will overwhelm him and get him out of there? I don't know. I think this is a fight that I'm going to sit and watch till the end of the week to make a decision. Sorry, that I'm being a little more, I guess, cryptic in terms of how I'm going to play some of these fights relative to last week with Joe Joyce and to Chisora and Clarissa Shields and stuff like that. But these fights, I think, are a little more competitive. I just don't want to outwardly give a lean when I'm not sure, when there's a lot of variables heading into these fights.
100%. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we're previewing this, decently early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you want to follow our boxing and our picks, don't forget to follow the social media. You know what I'm saying? Hot Plug, Access to Combat, Boogie Kuna, Hugo, Got Next. We'll update you there. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is early, and our process might change as the fight comes closer. So
yeah, and the other variables I have. What's Terence's motivation for this fight? He's not getting Jermell Charlo.
No.
He's not getting Fundora.
No.
He's not getting Tim Tszyu. He's not getting Earl Spence again at this weight. I'm not sure where his motivation is for this fight.
It's probably, the one thing he is getting.
Bag.
His bag.
Yeah. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
I will say. But where's he at motivational wise? He might want to have a big showing to get some bigger paydays from Turkey.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll lean the knockout just on a hunch because he is one of the best finishers in boxing. But if I play decision, do not be surprised later in the week. That's where I'm at.
I'm leaning late knockout, but not with that much confidence. I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, it's tough to call.
Yeah.
Like, like I said, Terence, like I really question his motivation in this fight. Not because I think what's next he's motivated for. I don't know if he's necessarily motivated for this fight. That's where I'm at.
And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. We broke down some boxing. We broke down some Abu Dhabi, UFC. But, without further ado, my brother, take us away. Take us home. We are fucking done.
You guys already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and, hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Love you guys. Holla at you guys. Free content, subscribe, do what you got to do. Help us out. Love you. See you next week.